Hi guys, I know it's kind of a strange week, so I thought we'd do a little bit of a different lesson on time. So for our lesson for time today, you need the code SPHCB. Again, that's SPHCB. You're going to take that code and go to Nearpod.com or the Nearpod app. Enter your code SPHCB to join. And as always, we start with our name, just so we can see all of your hard work. So this is all about telling time. It's a little bit different than our normal lessons, and it starts with a video.
Jack Cartman! Kids Music Channel!
Tick tock, let's learn about the clock. Tick tock, the analog clock. You see them on the wall in your classroom or the hall. A lot of people wear them on their wrist. It's the analog clock. Now sing after me and let's learn about the analog clock. Analog clocks can be the shape of a circle.
Analog clocks can be the shape of a circle.
The numbers on the clock go from 1 to 12.
The numbers on the clock go from 1 to 12.
A short hand and long hand go round and round.
A short hand and long hand go round and round.
Both hands go round all day and night.
Both hands go around all day and night.
And we always say, oh clock, on the hour. A short hand tells the hours on the clock.
A short hand tells the hours on the clock.
A short hand moves one number each hour.
A short hand moves one number each hour.
A long hand tells the minutes on the clock.
A long hand tells the minutes on the clock.
A long hand goes all around each hour.
A long hand goes all around each hour.
And we always say, oh clock, on the hour. Whoa, tick tock, let's learn about the clock. Tick tock, the analog clock. Tick tock, let's learn about the clock. Tick tock, the analog clock. Let's be friends.
Alright, so if you watch it here, obviously you don't have to watch it within the Nearpod activity. But here it says trace the big hand. The minute hand is big, so we're going to trace it. So we're going to use our pen and trace it. It's pointed at the 12, so o'clock, and it has an arrow at the end. So I traced it, you trace it, then hit submit. Trace the small hand. So which one's smaller? The one pointing at the 1 is smaller. Okay, when you're done tracing the hand pointed at the 1, hit submit. What time is it? We need to look at this clock here. I know it's tiny. Let's see if I can make it bigger. I can. Okay, so we always start with the little hand. The little hand is pointed at the 1. So it's 1 something. And the big hand is pointed at the 12, which means o'clock. So this shows 1 o'clock. So after you're done hitting 1 o'clock, hit submit. What time is it? 1 o'clock or 6 o'clock? So we need to find the little hand first. Here's my little hand. What number is it pointing at? A 6. So it shows 6, and then it's pointing at the 12, which means o'clock. What time is it? 6 o'clock. All right, what time is it? We start with the little hands. My little hand is pointed at the 4. My big hand is on the 12. So it shows 4 o'clock. Not 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So hit 4 o'clock, then hit submit. Now it says find 3 o'clock. Which one shows 3 o'clock? Look, the big hands are both pointing at the 12 because they're both o'clock, so that means we need to look at the little hands. Here my little hand shows 4, and here it shows 3, but we're looking for 3 o'clock. So I'm going to circle 3 o'clock, then hit submit. Now find 5 o'clock. We have our big hands are both in the 12, so they both show o'clock. This shows 5 o'clock, and this shows 12 o'clock. But we're looking for 5 o'clock. This one shows 5, so we'll circle this one, and then hit submit. Now find 1 o'clock. Big hand on the 12, big hand on the 12, they both show o'clock. So here we're pointed at the 9, it shows 9 o'clock. Here we're pointed at the 1, it shows 1 o'clock, but we're looking for 1 o'clock. This shows 1 o'clock. So we circled the clock with 1 o'clock, then hit submit. Now find 4 o'clock. Okay. This shows o'clock, and this shows o'clock. Here is 4, here is 6. What are we looking for? 4 o'clock. Here it is. When you're done circling 4 o'clock, hit submit. Now we have to find 7 o'clock. It shows o'clock and o'clock. Here it's pointed at a 3, and here it's pointed at a 7. I'm looking for 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Here's my right time, 7 o'clock. Then hit submit. Find 6 o'clock. So here I have my little hands pointing at a 9. And here my little hand is pointed at a 6. We're looking for 6. So this is pointing at the 6. And then the 12 shows me 6 o'clock. So I have to circle 6 o'clock and then hit submit. Okay, now we're looking for 2 o'clock. Find 2 o'clock. So here, my little hand where we start is pointing at a 2, and it shows o'clock when it's pointed at the big hand's pointed at the 12. Here, my little hand is pointed where? At 8. And my big hand is pointed at 12, so it's o'clock. This shows 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock, but we're looking for 2. This clock shows 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Hit submit. Find 8 o'clock. So here, my little hand's pointed at the 3, and my big hand is on 12, which means o'clock. This shows 3 o'clock. Let's look at the next one. Little hand is pointed right here. What does that say? 8. And the 12 means o'clock. So 8 o'clock. And we're looking for 8 o'clock. So circle the clock that shows 8 o'clock. Then hit submit. Now we're matching the clock. Draw a line to connect the matching lines. I think we need to zoom out. Okay. So here, where's my little hand pointed? At this number, it's a 3. And now let's look at my minute hand. It's pointed at the 12, which means o'clock. So I need to find the match. 3 o'clock does not match 5 o'clock or 9 o'clock, but here's a match. 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Next one. Here, my little hand is pointed at the 11, so it's 11 something. Now let's look at the minutes. The minutes is pointed at the 12, so it's 00 o'clock. So 11 o'clock, does it match 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock, or 11 o'clock? Oh, I found a match. Okay. Now let's look at the next one. Here is my little hand, and it's pointed right at this number. What does it say? 5. And now my minute hand is pointing at the 12, which means o'clock. 5 o'clock. So 5 o'clock matches 5 o'clock. It's a match. Now we're up to our next one. Last clock. My little hand's pointed right here at the 9. And my big hand is pointing at the 12, which means o'clock. So we have 9 o'clock. Here's the match, 9 o'clock, so I'll draw a line. So you don't need to write the numbers here like I did. You could just draw a line if you want. When you're done, hit submit. And we have one last video to watch.
Hip hop around the clock. Hip hop around the clock. When I say the time, you stop. If you're at the time, you say hip hop, then the time on the clock. Hip hop around the clock. Hip hop around the clock. Now the time is 8 o'clock.
Hip hop, it's 8 o'clock.
Hip hop around the clock. Hip hop around the clock. Now the time is 5 o'clock.
Hip hop, it's 5 o'clock.
Hip hop around the clock. Hip hop around the clock. Now the time is 2 o'clock.
Hip hop, it's 2 o'clock.
Hip hop around the clock. Hip hop around the clock. Now the time is 11 o'clock.
Hip hop, it's 11 o'clock.
Hip hop around the clock. Hip hop around the clock. Now the time is 7 o'clock.
Hip hop, it's 7 o'clock.
Hip hop around the clock. Hip hop around the clock. Now the time is 4 o'clock.
Hip hop, it's 4 o'clock.
Hip hop around the clock. Hip hop around the clock. Hip hop around the clock. Hip hop around the clock.
All right, great
Let's
job.
be friends.
All right, so you get to choose a character for the last question. I'll choose a fox. All right, show me 5 o'clock. So we're looking for a little hand on the 5. Here is 5, and here is 1. So I'm going to choose 5, and it's the big hand of the 12, so 5, 0, 0, o'clock. 5 o'clock. Alright, show me 11 o'clock. Here, my little hand is pointed at the 2, and the big hand is at the 12, so it's o'clock. Here, my little hand is on 11, and my big hand is on a 12, o'clock. So this shows 2 o'clock and 11 o'clock, and we're looking for 11 o'clock. There it is.